West Ham were big spenders in the summer, an outlay in the region of 180 million. It took them a while to get going, perhaps not helped by a fixture schedule that has seen them play more games than any other side in the Premier League so far this season. But with 9 wins in their last 13 in all competitions and European football in the new year secured, momentum building in the East End, and West Ham now have successive home games before the Premier League pauses for the World Cup to lift themselves up into the top half of the table. Thilo Kehrer continues his run of starting every Premier League game for West Ham since signing from Paris Saint-Germain in August. Thomas Souček makes his 100th Premier League appearance. He and Declan Rice, the only players to play every minute in the Premier League for West Ham this season. Gianluca Scamacca spearheads the West Ham attack, looking to end a run of 6 games without a goal. Patrick Vieira makes 3 changes to the Crystal Palace side that beat Southampton at Selhurst Park last Saturday. One of the 3 changes comes at the back with Nathaniel Clyne, who returned from injury as a substitute against Southampton, coming into the starting lineup. Whilst Wilfried Zaha has 14 goals in his last 27 Premier League appearances. Only 4 players have scored more Premier League goals in 2022 than he has. Odsonne Edouard ruled out today with a hamstring injury, so Jordan Ayew will lead the line. He has 4 goals in 12 appearances against West Ham.
And Zuma there. A little bit more to deal with Zaha with his trickery.
Odsonne Edouard for Crystal Palace here today. Here's Eze looking to put them in front, drags his effort wide. Really good sight of goal here. Palace have begun this game really well.
Well, slow start from West Ham again, but good build-up from Palace down that right-hand side. They cut it back. Eze, he's normally such a good striker of a ball. Look, he's really annoyed with himself. Just gets it stuck under his feet. As it comes back from the cutback here, that first touch has got to be away, and then he can get a cleaner strike, but he drags it wide.
Kurt Zouma into Said Benrahma, who starts once more for West Ham this afternoon. He's been getting some regular outings in the Premier League, met by Bowen, who drags his effort wide, but that's better from West Ham.
Yeah, good cross from Cresswell, wasn't it? I think he really picks out Bowen on that far post. And 2 defenders really get drugged under the flight of the ball because Scamacca's in the middle there. But both going in to mark him, leaving Bowen free on that far post, and he just drags his volley wide. Hits it into the ground, does the correct thing in that, but just drags it wide. Not the cleanest of strikes. Yeah, that's good one-on-one defending there by Mitchell.
Paquetá to Benrahma. Still Benrahma! Said Benrahma fires West Ham in front. A spectacular strike on his 100th appearance for the club. What a way for him to mark that.
Well, what a strike that is, Andy. It's past Waiter before he can really get his hands up in the air. Really flew into the back of the net. He sat in a lovely pocket, received the pass. Mitchell had done ever so well to get the ball off of Bowen, but they gave it away here, Palace. Zaha gets hustled out of it, but the ball's transferred quickly, you can see here. That's the difference. But look at this, a little waggle in the belt. What a strike. That is past the keeper before he knows it. I think we'll get a better view from behind the goal because it goes at such a velocity, doesn't it? There he gets it out of his feet, and look at this, right on the edge of the D, smack, right in the corner. What a strike. West Ham won up from out of nowhere. They started so poorly.
Fantastic strike by Said Benrahma. It's his first goal in open play in the Premier League this season. Now Nathaniel Clyne, Jeffrey Schlupp and Gianluca Scamacca tracking back. Doesn't take the ball with him though, and Lucas Fabianski called into a save down to his left-hand side.
Well, better strike this time from Schlupp in midfield, but Scamacca comes back, gets himself in a little bit of a muddle. It breaks kindly for Schlupp there, but that's quite a comfortable save for Fabianski.
Kehrer dispossessed, and it could prove costly here. Zaha fires Crystal Palace level. Well, he has been the threat, and it's a moment to forget for Thilo Kehrer. His mistake punished to the maximum by Wilfried Zaha.
Well, since he's come to the club, he's made so many mistakes, and really for a full international like he is, with so many experienced games under his belt, this is really a basic error. Look at that. Maybe it was zipped in a bit quickly, wasn't it, from Dawson, but zipped in from Eze, and what a finish from Zaha. But Dawson thought about challenging him there, but he would have been off if he'd have challenged him. But that wasn't the best of balls out to Kehrer. It was on his weaker side, zipped in too quickly. Poor play by both defenders there, I would say. Dawson and then Kehrer. Kehrer should have done better with the ball in the end, but that's a great finish on the end of it.
Yet another example of why Wilfried Zaha, whose contract is up at the end of the season, is so important to Crystal Palace. Olise pulls into an area of freedom here, steps inside and finds Jeffrey Schlupp, who's got options out to his left-hand side. Eze curling for the far corner, and he wasn't too far away, and it took a little nick on the way through.
I think Fabianski was beaten, he was rooted to the floor, comes to Eze, and this is what he likes to do, clear his feet quickly, get it on his right side, curl for the far corner. But there's that slight deflection. You could see the way Fabianski was looking there. He was just looking in hope that it was going to go wide, because he wasn't going to get near it. Strangely laboured game for West Ham this afternoon.
Ayew turns away from Souček. Olise, who's getting on the ball more and more for Palace, into the penalty area, looking for that far corner. We had a good view of that from where we are, Tony. It looked as if it was always heading wide, but you could see what Olise was looking to do. Yeah,
it started curling, Andy, before, just as it went up past the post, I feel here. But for Eze on the left, curling with his right foot, Reed, Olise on the right, curling with his left foot. Two extremely talented players, very similar actually. Both really silky players, aren't they? Glide across the floor, but they love curling balls for that far post.
Side Benrahma. And it's Palace here with Zaha, who weaves his way between the two challenges. Decision for Paul Tierney to make.
No, I think that was a clean challenge. I don't think there's much of a decision to make there, Andy. Danger areas again, maybe a trick too many, but Dawson gets back, gets a toe in time, but again giving away possession.
Rice again, Bowen. Attacking the penalty area, just can't quite take the ball with him. Falls to Rice, and he slashes it over the top.
Yeah, just took it a little bit early there, Deck. He's just come out to him and he's tried to hit it down on the volley. He's trying to get his foot pointing down, bending that knee to get that volley in. He's a good striker of the ball from that distance, but he'll be disappointed himself if he doesn't hit the target.
Lanzini turning inside and looking to release Antonio, who turns away from Anderson. Still Antonio, will he go alone? He bundles his way through. Big appeals from West Ham here, and Paul Tierney points to the spot.
He looked like he got talked into that one, didn't he?
He was surrounded by West Ham players, and it was a delayed decision.
Well, all the West Ham players, they just simply ran over to him, didn't they? He slips Anderson down this far side here. He's onside as the ball comes in. Anderson tries to win it. Shouldn't go to try and win that ball. And as he comes inside again, comes inside Gay there, they're just asking, did he drag him back as he went past him, I think. He just goes past him on his inside here. Now, does he drag him back? There's a little bit back there. Maybe a big reaction from Antonio as he just drags it round him. But was that enough for a penalty? But the referee's pointed to the penalty spot.
VAR, of course, are checking it, and they've been checking it for a good while now.
Well, they'll be saying, is it clear and obvious? Was that enough?
So VAR, Michael Salisbury, has recommended here that Paul Tierney comes to review the incident, and we know what tends to happen when this occurs, but it doesn't always happen.
But does he think it's enough to change his mind? Well, he's looking like to grab him, isn't he, Gay? But there doesn't seem to be nothing to be grabbed, and there's a slight touch on him. And now he's got to deem, is that enough?
Well, he was pretty close to the action, as you can see from the monitor that he's looking at. Obscured for your view, perhaps, but he's taking a good few looks at this here, Paul Tierney.
At top speed, it's a difficult decision for him. I must admit, he didn't look like he was going to give it until the West Ham players came around him and seemingly changed his mind on it. Is he going to change his mind again?
We are about to find out. No penalty. Decision overturned. Well, as you say, Tony, he took his time to award it initially, so it's no surprise that on reflection, Paul Tierney has decided to change his mind. Is there to be one late twist in this game? Ayew. Again, Eze making his move in the middle, and it was only just kept out, deflected off Dawson. And West Ham having a bit of luck there.
Wasn't the best of balls, was it, from Ayew, but he fizzed it in. He's come off the heel with Craig Dawson. Gets his feet in a little bit of a mess here. He can't clear his feet. Ends up nearly going in on that near post. Fabianski does well to save it.
Bowen, and he's just going to give Michail Antonio something to chase down here. The race is on, and play continues. Bodies flooding into the box here for West Ham. Antonio, disappointing cross. Players had flooded forwards there, and now West Ham have left themselves open.
Well, I don't know what he was trying to do there.
Zaha. Elise working it onto his left foot, and he wins it for Palace. A magnificent goal from Michael Elise, deep into stoppage time, and Crystal Palace are going to pick up their first away win of the season.
Well, they got that little bit of good fortune that maybe they deserve on the afternoon, but what was Michail Antonio doing at the other end? He made a great run, he got into a really good position, just simply gave the ball away. The ball should be coming in there, but he's delayed, just chips it into the arms of the keeper. A quick transference up the pitch, Waiter just throws it out. Palace are on the counter-attack, then all of a sudden as it comes out to Elise on this right-hand side, you know what he's going to do. He's going to cut in on that left foot, but he's so good at it. I think it may have taken a deflection. Yeah, lovely little bit of a deflection in terms of it for Crystal Palace. Cresswell tries to get the block in, little bit of a deflection, takes the loop and goes into the far corner. Not a lot Cresswell could have done about it, but I have to question what happened up the other end to allow the quick breakaway. But there's the deflection.
Palace just seconds away here from winning at West Ham, and that is exactly what they've done. Palace win on the road, and they did so in dramatic fashion. Michael Elise grabbing the points right at the death, and it came just seconds after West Ham were attacking down the other end. Michail Antonio couldn't pick anybody out, and from there Palace streamed down the other end to turn 1 point into 3. Palace had trailed in this game. Wilfried Zaha brought them level. A bit of a gift of a goal that as well towards the end of the first half. It's frustration for West Ham. Thilo Kehra's mistake playing a part in that Palace equaliser. Full time here at London Stadium. It's a fine win for Crystal Palace, who win by 2-1.